6 interesting facts about Mount Halau-Halau in South Kalimantan, which is considered sacred to the Dayak Meratus tribe. Mount Halau-Halau, or also known as Mount Besar, is a mountain located on the border of 3 districts, namely Hulu Sungai Tengah Regency, Hulu Sungai Selatan Regency and Tanah Bumbu Regency in South Kalimantan Province. Mount Halau-Halau is the highest peak in South Kalimantan. This mountain has a height of 1901 meters above sea level. Even though it is not very high, climbers need 6 days and 5 nights for a leisurely journey and 3 days and 2 nights for a speed system journey to reach the top. Here are 6 interesting facts about Mount Halau-Halau, 1 including the Meratus Mountain range. This mountain, which is part of the Meraturs Mountain range, is often considered a sacred place. However, this did not deter climbers from conquering Mount Halau-Halau. The Meratus Mountains are a mountainous area located in the southeast of Kalimantan Island and divide South Kalimantan Province into 2. These mountains stretch for around 600 square kilometers from southwest-northeast and turn north to the border of Central Kalimantan and East Kalimantan provinces. The highest point in the Meratus Mountain range is Mount Halau-Halau, which has a height of 1,901 meters above sea level. The Meratus Mountains are a forested area that can be grouped as low mountain forests. The area has high biodiversity with several dominant vegetation. 2 starting point for climbing Mount Halau-Halau. The climb to Mount Halau-Halau starts from Kia village, East Batang Alai district, Hulu Sungai Tengah Regency. Local residents usually offer services as guides because the climbing route for Mount Halau-Halau is still natural and quite extreme. It is recommended for first-time climbers to hire a guide for safety during the trip. The climbing track for Mount Halau-Halau is quite challenging. It takes thorough physical preparation to be able to conquer this extreme and remote terrain. Apart from that, the climbing route for Mount Halau-Halau is still a wilderness with large trees. 3. There is a camping place. There are several climbing posts that climbers will pass, including Kia Village, Tirangang, Kura River, Jamantir, Simpang Tiga Haran, Sirat Valley, Penyengan, and arriving at the top of Mount. It takes about 3 to 4 hours to move from one post to another. If you want to camp, climbers can set up a tent at the Kura River post. Its location close to a water source makes this post an ideal place to rest. However, if you leave early enough, it is best to camp at Penyengan, which is the best flat area on the higher slopes of the long ridge and the last proper camping area before the summit. 4. Be careful because there are sun bears. Wherever you choose to camp, be wary of sun bears, as there seem to be a sun bear or 2 still lurking in the Meratus Mountains. But climbers don't need to worry because they don't pose a serious threat to human groups, but, even so, you still have to be alert if you encounter this animal. 5. It is considered a sacred mountain for the Dayak Meratus tribe. Even though it is one of the popular climbing mountains in Kalimantan, Mount Halau-Halau is also inseparable from its mystical impression. This is because of the kariwaya tree, a type of banyan that has large and tall roots. It was so big that the tree roots formed an arch like a gate that humans could pass through. For the Dayak Meratus people who live around the mountain, this tree is considered sacred and is often used as a place to meditate. That is why there are many traditional rules that climbers must understand before setting foot on Mount Halau-Halau. Climbers must not speak harshly or dirty words, must maintain the cleanliness of the forest, and say hello or excuse themselves when passing the tree. 6. View at the top of Mount Halau-Halau. From Penyengan it takes less than an hour to reach the narrow peak, which is probably one of the best viewpoints in Kalimantan. Looking north, you see a series of small ridges in the Meratus Mountains, including a sharp peak just north of the peak known locally as Puncak Kambangan. If the weather is very clear, you will be able to see the coastline to the east. To the southeast of the peak is another peak in the Meratus range. Hidden behind it is Mount Kahung, tens of kilometers further south and not visible from here. It's a stunning panorama of mountains and forested valleys in every direction. The peak is a sign erected by Banjarmasin students in 2010. This peak is also known as Halau-Halau and is considered haunted by many local Dayak people. Halau means to expel in Indonesian, and apparently the name of the peak refers to the exorcism of the spirits of the dead.